I had a San Francisco-ass day on Saturday.
Cool.
I had a saga.
Okay, the San Francisco saga continues.
It was kind of amazing. I think most people, this would be like the worst day they've had in a long time. But I was just like...
But for you, it was just Saturday.
Well, no, I just thought it was hilarious because
for Bison, it was Tuesday.
Oh, yes. Basically, I just needed to switch my phone over from I bought the new iPhone, and I wanted to switch to Sprint.
Okay, well, that is a nightmare. Switching carriers is terrible, but that would be terrible in any city.
Well, I have a bunch of friends that work at Sprint because they're based in Kansas City. So, like, half the people I went to high school with work at Sprint. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if my old roommate could get me a discount.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out he could, so I tried to switch over. So I buy the phone from Apple. I'm going to leave out the really boring minutia here because there's a ton. But I had to go to a Sprint store to activate it. And they told me that they can't do it in store.
Okay.
And while they're doing it in store, there's some guy that looks like Billy Idol if he had like Donald Trump's skin color. Ugh. And he is just freaking out. He's looking at a display unit and just twitching and screaming and all this stuff. And
like screaming like what kind of
a lot of that.
Okay.
And so the guy has to stop helping me for a second to go over to help Billy Idol. Mm-hmm. And the guy's like, oh, you're going to kick me out? What are you going to do? You're going to kick me out? And he lays down on the floor, starts rolling around and taking his clothes off.
Cool. All right. That's a thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't want to be removed from a place, like that's one way to get people to like not want to touch you.
He did get kicked out. Okay. So the cops got called, but before the cops got there, the guy got kicked out. So anyway, the guy tells me that I can't do that in store. So I'm like, okay, I'm all the way out here.
I like that that's not like the story is that you saw a guy roll around on the floor. It's actually like phone activation part.
No, that's the boring part, but there are several things in between here.
Okay.
So basically, I come to the office because I have to do everything online, they say, and they won't let me use their computers. So I come here, and long story short, I spent 3 hours on hold on the line with Sprint trying to switch stuff over.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, there was a major communication error going on. There was a major, accent that I'm not going to try to reproduce here.
Okay.
But she could not understand me that well. I could not understand her.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, an hour into this call, she starts getting really somber. And I have no idea why.
Yeah.
And she starts saying things like, well, I'm very sorry about your friend. And I was like, I'm sorry, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, it's just, that your friend has passed on. I'm sorry. And I was like, no, my friend isn't dead. No, I talked to him this morning. He told me to call here. So she spent a good chunk of this thinking that my friend was dead, and she's also trying to sell me a new phone.
Wait, which friend? The Sprint friend or?
Sprint friend, yeah, because I was like, oh, my friend works there. He can give out 10 discounts a year or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so she took that as he died, and I guess I inherited his employee discount or something.
Yep, that's how that works.
Yeah, so I got put on hold for like an hour. This other person came back. I'm on hold for another like 40 minutes. This whole thing on the phone took 3 hours. Mm-hmm. I was here at the office.
Yeah.
You sound exhausted just describing this.
Yes. I rarely get angry.
At the end of this, did you then walk back into the Sprint store and twitch at a phone and then take all your clothes off to get back at... This is just how the loop happens?
Yeah, Billy Idol might have been some like guy that worked here before, totally fine, and then...
That's who she was talking about. It's like, I'm sorry about your friend who got thrown out of the store.
Oh, yeah. So long story short, she tells me I need to buy a phone through Sprint and return the one that I bought through Apple. So I have my Apple phone.
Did you buy a Sprint phone from Apple?
No, I bought an...
Okay, then yes. That's...
Well, no. I was... It's a long story, trust me. It's boring, but yes, I had to return the Apple one. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll go to the Apple store. And so I go down to the one next to Powell Station.
Yeah.
And I get out. And it's a thing that says, oh, we miss you, San Francisco, but, we'll never leave you. We just moved. I'm like, okay, great. I have no idea where they are. My shitty burner phone can't use a map or anything. So I'm going around asking security guards and stuff where the Apple store is. Find out it's near Union Square. Everything's under construction there, so it's taking me forever to walk anywhere. There's skateboarders everywhere, and it's just a huge pain in the ass.
Damn skaters. They were probably painting graffiti.
They probably were.
Yeah.
Yeah, delinquents.
Uh-huh.
So I get there, I go to return it, it's super busy. They spend forever trying to type in every individual IMEI and serial number and my phone number and my email address. They get to the end, server issue, they have to do it all again. This happens 3 times.
Cool.
So I'm standing there forever, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, it's hot, I just want to get home. Finally, I get the return, I'm like, okay, all I want to fucking do is get home. I want to go to Safeway and buy a bunch of macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
And I want to eat a bunch of macaroni and cheese and just relax.
Yep. I'm sorry about your macaroni and cheese friend who passed away.
He was a good guy.
You inherited his deal, so you got a discount on macaroni and cheese, though, right?
The new white cheddar stuff.
Right,
yeah,
cool.
It's great.
Yeah, good.
So I get on the damn train, and I'm so happy that I get a seat, and I'm like, okay, I can just play across 3D the whole way back. So I'm sitting next to the window. Some guy comes and sits down next to me.
Yep.
He's like odd, like he seems homeless, but not like aggressive or anything. And he has just a bunch of like shirts and cloths and stuff in his lap. And I'm not looking at him because I don't want him to like talk to me. And I can tell he's doing something with like a needle or something.
Cool.
All of a sudden, I hear all these ladies on the train like kind of gasping and stuff. And I just kind of glance over, and then I hear the ladies say like, "Oh, just take those home and put cold detergent on them, or cold water and detergent, and then for your hands, you need to like bandage it this way." And I turn, and the guy is just looking at me, holding his hands up, and they're covered in blood.
His hands are wearing the crimson mask.
Yes. The crimson gloves.
He got color on the train.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the guy's just looking at me with blood-covered hands. And as these women are trying to explain to him how to get it out of his clothes, he says to me, and I swear to God, this is the part that's going to sound made up. He goes, "Listen, lady, this isn't the first time I've gotten blood all over something." So I get to the store, I buy a shitload of macaroni and cheese, and I'm leaving. And then my biggest pet peeve, I think, in the world is indecisive pigeons. Like when they do the thing,
100%. That's
well,
yes.
No, it really makes me mad. If they're walking on the street, that's fine.
Fight the real enemy,
right?
Yeah.
If they're flying through the air, I'm fine. It's when they do the thing when they know you're walking close to them and they just freak out and kind of flap around your face for a little bit.
Yeah.
So the second I leave Safeway, 3 pigeons fly up directly into my face and just flap around for like 3 seconds, and I just laughed. I was like, "That okay, perfect. That's the perfect way to end this day."
Yeah.
And then I went and ate a bunch of macaroni.
All right. Did you get the phone, or were they like, "We're sold out of that"?
No. I have no phone right now. I have a shitty burner phone.
Cool.
I have no Sprint account number.
Okay.
And I have absolutely no confirmation that a phone is on its way to me.
Cool. All right. You've done well. You are set to be the next Billy Idol.
Yeah, that's me in about 3 weeks here. So yeah, that was my Saturday, pretty much from like 9:30 to almost 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean that's that's a pretty standard like deal with tech. You realize like the company has a deal with Verizon, and you probably could have just gotten some deal through.
I used to get a
CVS.
discount with AT&T, but like I get some like crazy ass discount through Sprint or whatever. But yeah, that was my day.
That sounds action packed.
Yeah, it was real fun.
Yeah, that's
And I have no phone at all. How's your